today, as always, I know I'm late into this whole thing, but I really want to talk about it, and that is the standard weapon of Wuthering Waves, the new standard weapon. And this is important because we're not going to get into it just yet. We're going to get into the new mechanic in Wuthering Waves, the off-tune mechanic, the miss-tune mechanic. I want you to understand this, and it's very important for you to understand this now rather than later. Now, of course, I always will try to dumb it down for you to have you understand this whole concept and why this is going to be very F2P friendly, and also how the new standard weapons may not work on the characters that you think it will work on. So let's get into that, shall we? Now let's get into the off-tune first, off-tune level. Now what you need to understand is that the off-tune is nothing, okay? The off-tune is the bar. Your resonators attack build up enemies off-tune level. Now that is the bar on the shield that you can see besides the HP. And for the next one is the miss-tune. The miss-tune is when you broke the enemy's off-tune. You broke their shield. Now they kind of lost their posture. And then you have the tune break skill. Now the tune break skill is that you will have this QTE thing and you will attack enemies through this animation. And after this animation, it will take a chunk of the enemy's HP and their shield. That is the first half of this mechanic. Easy to understand, very simple. We got the concept already before this through an event that they experimented on us. It is a very nice mechanic that will probably allow you to beat the boss a lot easier and faster. Even if you lack a lot of DPS, you will still be able to use a support character that can break this off tune faster. Someone like Chisa can even do it really fast. They show it in the clip once that she can continuously shoot the enemy very fast and then get the enemy into the miss-tune state, break their posture really fast. It's good, right? The mechanic, this whole thing is nice. Now let's get into the second half, is the shifting effects. And the shifting effects is also separated into two types of characters. And I said this is two types of characters is because it's not like you can use Lynae, for example. Lynae, she has two types of shifting. But the problem is, you can't really get into the combat with two types. You have to choose between one of them. You can either choose tune rupture shifting or tune strain shifting. Now, this is something you have to inflict on an enemy. Now, I need to mention that as of now, we only have Lynae and Mornye. They also mention it down here, like Mornye also have two types, tune strain and tune rupture. Both characters will have this effect. Now how this works is that if you use tune rupture on an enemy, we're just gonna read it right here. Tune rupture interfered. Resonators who can respond to tune rupture interfered can unleash one special attack. For example, you inflict the tune rupture on the enemy and then you switch to character, you interfered their tune rupture. You interfered using a different characters, and then it will create some sort of unleash one special attack on targets in these states. Probably be AoE effect that will probably damage the surroundings. They didn't say right here, but I'm just assuming something like that will happen. Let's go to the next part. If you have inflict tune strain towards the enemy and then it will be interfered, it will give you damage bonus. First off, it will deal additional damage to targets the enemy in this state. It will damage them, but then afterwards it will give you damage bonus increase. You have more resonators who respond to tune strain interfere. Yep, that is the problem, alright. The problem is that you need to have two tune strain. If you're going to use this mechanic, you have to use two tune strain characters. So the rotation is that you interfere the tune strain first and then you need another resonators that use tune strain. So for now we can't possibly use this mechanic unless they're giving out this new effect to other old characters as well, like the Rover will most likely have it. So basically we're gonna have Lynae, Mornye and Rover. That way we can use this tune strain interfered. Any other old characters probably not gonna get it yet, but if they do give it away, that will be amazing. Honestly, it will be great. But as of now, what you can rely on the most is the tune break, the off tune and miss tune mechanic. This is the one that you can actually make use of for free. The shifting parts will most likely need new characters only. Lynae, Mornye, and they probably give one for free, which is Rover. Rover usually have all of that, which is why they show Rover right here. So yeah, to put it simply, this one will create some sort of burst effect, and this one will give you damage bonus. Now, why this whole thing is important for the standard weapon? Look at this. This is the sword, and we're gonna give it a read real quick. Increase attack by 12%, dealing damage to targets under tune strain interfered. So as of now, you can only use it for Rover, right? Rover will probably be the second out of rotation. We have a DPS, we have a support that will need the tune strain, and then we switch to Rover to interfere that, and then we got two tune strain, and the Rover will gain the damage bonus, but at the same time you see this weapon gives like energy regen and not much attack or DPS going on, so Rover will only deal as much damage as it possibly can, probably not as much. So we don't have this mechanic towards DPS yet that will gain the effect from this. The new Rover they're probably giving away is also most likely skills of resonance skill bonus. So they're just hinting it out that the new Rover element will probably scale off resonance skill. So it's just a little bit of something, right? Now we get into Broadblade. At first I read this, I thought, man, it's gonna be good for Kuro, isn't it? Nope. I mean, you got resonance liberation right there. But then I saw like resonance liberation bonus for only 3 seconds. what is he gonna do about that? You either have a lot of quick swap you have to do there as well, so that's gonna be a pain, right? And let's say you have like Mornye in the team. Mornye is most likely gonna be a support, so that's gonna be good in this new Kakaru team. So you gotta switch from Mornye to Kakaru to gain the interfered, to gain the Toon Strain interfered. Then what about Lin? That is the best in slot dedicated support for Kakaru, right? So we're just gonna move that out of the way. So this whole Toon Strain interfered for Kakaru will probably not work. This is also gonna be for new characters, and of course it's gonna be just for Mornye. It's probably gonna be Mornye's second best in slot after her weapon. Even though Mornye can use both Toon Rupture and Toon Strain, they definitely try to focus, they try to put you into using like Mornye. It's definitely gonna be good for Toon Strain interfered instead of Toon Rupture. They just show it right here to make it easy for you to choose, I guess. I don't see any of these weapons going to be good for our current roster, but we're most likely gonna get new characters that is gonna be good with all these weapons. And even if it doesn't work very well with our current roster, it's still going to be like a good stat stick. I mean, crit damage here, we got crit damage right here as well, the pistol. To gain the effect from the pistol, on the other hand, it's actually very easy. The pistol probably is going to be the easiest one and going to be a free-to-play friendly use of the weapon. It is definitely made for another best in slot for Lynae, right? Most likely they try to put you into that. Like if you can't pull for her weapon, yeah, this will do. This will definitely do. It gives like good amount of crit damage, and to gain the effect, you just need to, when a resonator in the team cast a Toon Break skill. Now, whether I taught you about the Toon Break skill, it's just very easy, right? You break the enemy's shield of Toon and Mistoon, and then you do the QTE, and then you basically going to gain about 20% all attribute damage bonus, just like that for 14 seconds. This is definitely gonna be good for all the gun users, especially DPS. Now off to the next one, which is the Gauntlet. Oh man, oh boy. Now, again, I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to like, are they going to give this Toon Strain interfered and Toon Rupture interfered to all the characters, to all our current roster, right? If they do that, then all these weapons, yeah, this one is going to be good for Lin Yang. This one could be good for Carlotta as well. This one is going to be good for, possibly good for Kakaru, maybe even Jian. I could be wrong in almost all of this if they do give the Toon Strain and Toon Rupture effect to our current character roster. But if they don't, then stick to the new characters. This is not going to be good for anyone, except if you just want to focus on their stat stake. Then yes, this is going to be good for Lin Yang. It might be good for Yuno, but also not so much because she skills of Resonance Celebration and only do very little basic attack damage bonus. So this weapon is kind of useless at the current time being. They will be good for sure. Crit rate stat is always nice to have. Very high base attack, so that leaves room for a lot of new characters that can apply Toon Strain interfered. Now for the next one, this is the last, the Rectifier, and I'm actually looking forward for the Rectifier because I know that it's going to be easy to apply. Toon Break skill, I might actually pull for the Rectifier. It gives energy regen. I think this is also going to be very good for Cantarella, just because Toon Break skill, Cantarella actually can deal a lot of Toon Break off Toon and Mistoon because she can do coordinated attacks. So this will apply to her very fast. She can definitely do the Toon Break skill very easily, and this will grant her 12% attack increase, and also she skills of basic attack damage. So this is just kind of perfect for Cantarella. It could be her next best in slot. The only problem is the energy regen. Although you could fix that by building her more into attack percent, only basic attack and all that stuff, and focus on crit rate and crit damage, and no need for energy regen. Because Cantarella doesn't really need energy regen all that much. She gets energy a lot. Any other characters that can use this? No. Not really, no. Phoebe needs crit rate quite a bit. Prolovac definitely won't use this, even though she does use basic attack from time to time, but she skills mostly on resonance skill, and she definitely needs a lot of crits. Who else? Jeje? Possibly. Does Jeje skills of basic attack? Let me check real quick. Alright, I decided to open Pridewind because I'm too lazy to open the game. So yeah, Jeje does skills of basic attack here. You see quite a few of her damage considered as basic attack damage. So it's gonna be good for Cantarella and Jeje. That's about it. It doesn't work on Yilin, don't ask. Yilin does love her energy regen and all, but she doesn't skill off basic attack. Most of her damage will come from resonance skill and resonance aggression. So this weapon is currently not good for a lot of characters, except for Cantarella and Jeje. As of now, that's about it. So what do we understand about this whole thing? All we know is that this weapon, all these weapons, standard weapons, is not worth getting as of now yet, unless you want to use it as a stat stick. But I wouldn't say that's kind of worth it. And if we don't know if this Toon Strain interfere or Toon Rupture interfere is going to be implemented to all the characters, then I suggest we wait for now until we get some more news on the new characters, right? And the Toon Break skill, honestly, this is just some good stuff. This is a freebie by Kuro Games, okay? If you can't beat the content before, you will definitely most likely be able to beat it now. Because this Toon Break, able to crush your enemies, the bosses, a lot more easier by using this Toon Break, by using this QTE, and then bam, took a huge chunk of their HP and their shield. That's some good stuff right there, okay? Because let's be honest here, the game is getting more and more difficult. As time passes by, there's a lot of HP inflation. Nobody can lie about that. There's a lot of HP inflation, okay? So having this will definitely help the new players as well. But what about the shifting mechanics? I really can't say all that much, but I don't really like how we have to choose between the two of these shifting, rupture, and strain. We can go both ways. When we enter the combat, we need to choose before we enter. I don't know how they're gonna make us choose. Are we gonna choose it in the character settings, or are they gonna allow us to just click one button and then we choose it right away before the fight? That's gonna be interesting to see. And we don't really know how the implementation, how they inflict the rupture works just yet. How far they will go. Is it just one hit and then you inflict the shifting right away? We don't know. But as of now, hey, that's about it. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you do, click the like and subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. See ya.